Alright, hello everyone, this is Shikarius, and this is the very much requested Levi makeup tutorial. I'll just take you through it somewhat step by step. A couple things are out of order because lots of things were going on while I was doing this, so I'll just give it my best. Alright, first of all, we're going to start with a primer. I'm using Hard Candy and Sheer Envy. Just spread that around and let that dry. Next, you're going to want to get your hair out of the way, however you want to do that. I have pretty long hair and Levi's kind of a short wig, so I try to braid my hair backwards and then wrap it around my head in sort of a braid crown. And I just bobby pin that in place. I should probably also note at this point that I think we're watching a football game. I have some friends over, so my face is probably going to be doing some really strange things. Next, I put on a netting wig cap, and then I'm going to add a stocking black wig cap. I like to use two just because it feels a bit more secure, and it helps smooth it out. Now, the question I get most frequently about Levi is how I do the eyebrows. I'm going to link a couple tutorials that I think do a much better job explaining this than I do, but the general idea is I'm taking a washable glue stick, like the one they use for kids' crafts, and I'm coating my eyebrows in it. That's literally it. Brush in the direction that your eyebrow hair is growing, and just try to smooth that out. You can do up to about 4 coats, I'd say, for a convention, but just because I'm going to be on webcam for this, I only did 2. So take your setting powder, whatever you like to use. I've got some random SPF 50 stuff. Take a fluffy eyebrow brush and just dust that over your eyebrows. Make sure they're kind of dry at this point, or else it'll turn into a slurry and that'll be kind of gross. Again, add as many coats as you like. I'm just using 2 in this case. Usually I'd use more, but I was kind of in a rush. Next, I'm taking some concealer and just using some Clinique, but use whatever you like. And while I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I'm just going to conceal my under eye circles because they're awful. And some of my worst freckles because I've got a ton of those. So basically dab that on, don't rub. And after that, I'm going to apply that same concealer to my eyebrows. This isn't going to completely cover them, but this is going to block out most of the color. And again, if you're not happy with the coverage, then just keep doing layers. At this point, my Hanji called me for pickup, so I kind of had to run off at this point with my eyebrows concealed. That was kind of awkward. I think the video skipped a little bit. I've already applied foundation at this point, just use whatever you like. And here I'm just applying more foundation to my eyebrows, just blotting it directly on. Don't rub, make sure you're just blotting, otherwise you can take some of the glue off. Plus it'll be streaky and that's not cool. So at this point I'm just using my setting powder and again, just setting everything. I added a bit more foundation to my eyebrows, and then I also added a tiny bit to my lips, just to block them out a little bit. Alright, onto the eyes. I'm using an e.l.f. palette, so super cheap stuff. I'm using kind of an angled eyeshadow brush with a kind of medium dark brown, and I'm just going to go right along my natural crease. And you're just trying to define that basically. So kind of half close my eye and just kind of go along that crease. Levi has kind of 2 eyelids, which is a little bit strange, so you really want to accentuate your natural one, because we're going to draw in another one later. So I try to blend that in just a little bit. Next, we're taking another eyeshadow brush with a medium/light brown, and I don't really care in these either. And you're just going to go right over it, and you can kind of blend that into the crease shadow. Just kind of blend that around a little bit. Yay! And you can use any eyeshadow really, it's fine. Next I'm taking a small liner brush with dark brown or black, and I'm basically just going to go along the very edge of my top lid to help with the liquid liner, because frankly I suck at liquid liner. I'm pretty awful. So this is kind of a guide, I guess you could say. I'm going in with liquid liner. This is from Heroine Make, it's a Japanese brand. But I'm just going to go along the top lid, and I'm going to extend it about 3 millimeters outward, and I want to try to make this line as straight as possible, as opposed to like a normal wing eyeliner. This part's important. Sorry, my camera work sucks. But basically, I'm drawing a line downward from the edge of the eyeliner, and then extending it back towards the middle of my eye. So basically drawing a fake edge of my eye, I guess you could say, a couple millimeters below my actual waterline. So basically you're just making your eye look a little bit bigger than it is. If you go crazy with this, then you tend to look really, really weirdo, but if you only drop it a millimeter or two, it helps with that really big anime eye sort of look. So just kind of play around with that and see what works for you. You can see up close, you can still see the skin of the corner of my eye, and it looks kind of weird. But when I back up, you know, a foot or two, I just have ridiculously huge eyes. So, you know, that's a thing. Also, I think at this point, Hanji and Krista are standing like right off of the camera, so I'm talking to them. Usually I add a little bit of brown powder just along the bottom edge just to soften it up a little bit. I don't know if I did that here or not. Alright, next I'm taking a very small angled brush with some black eyeshadow, and I'm drawing on the second eyelid. And it's a pretty basic shape, I just do a diagonal line and then a straight line all the way across, but you can do whatever works for your particular eye shape. I'm filling it in with a little liquid eyeliner. I think this is like Maybelline or something. I really don't like the brush eyeliner, but I think my liner pen was drying out at this point. Alright, make sure your eyebrow is dry, and then I'm just drawing in the basic shape with my liner pen that is now drying out. You can draw it however you like. I mean, just experiment, figure out what looks the best for you. I don't think I've ever drawn my eyebrows the same twice. I'll show you some examples at the end. But once I'm done with that, I just like to fill it in with some eyeshadow. I have no idea what I was doing there. But just darken it up, you know, make it thicker, use whatever color. And now look concerned for the rest of the tutorial. Once that's done, I'm going to take a fluffy brush with some medium or dark brown, and I'm just going to follow along kind of the shade of my eye. And I'm going to go basically from the bridge of my nose until the middle of my eye. And this is kind of going to give you the sunken in eye look. I used to do this with black eyeshadow, but it was a little too stark for me, so I just kind of use a medium brown. Unless it's for a stage performance, then I go back to the black. I'm also contouring my nose a little bit with the same color just to make, you know, give it a nice chiseled shape or whatever the hell. Next, I'm adding in 2 bits of medium brown eyeshadow just for those very concerned lines. Make sure you blend those in because you don't want like literal lines there. You just kind of want a shadow like you're squinting the entire time. Next, I've got a big fluffy brush with some medium brown on it, and I'm just going under my cheekbones to kind of define those a little bit. You don't need to do that, but at this point I'm going to do a few last touch-ups, check my eyebrows, check my nose, that sort of thing, and then I'm going to put my wig on. Once the wig is actually on, I'm going to take my fluffy brush with some black powder on it and just add some sideburn zone, as well as dusting around the nape of the neck, just to help with the whole undercut illusion. So basically that concludes the tutorial. There are lots of variations you can do, especially with the eyebrows. I mean, kind of more comical looking. You can do it thicker with darker makeup. You can darken the eyeliner for kind of a 1994 look. You know, Tim Burton-esque. So in any case, I hope this has helped you a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions. I know that was... I don't usually do makeup tutorials. I don't usually do makeup. But hope you enjoyed that and hope that helps.